So Charles, we're visiting the farms today. We're going to go to Alhambra, Dennekruin and then Rietfontein. Yeah, tell us a bit quickly about these three farms.
It's amazing, you know, this area, Ceres, and this is the so-called Kouebokkeveld. We're going up to the Kouebokkeveld now. That's where the farms are situated. It's on a very high altitude, keeping in mind that most of them is varying between 950 and 1,200 meters. It's some of the highest vineyards in South Africa, altitude. And it's exciting. We had so much success this year with Pinot Noir, Syrah and Chardonnay. But what I'm really interested in is to show you is the new plantings, because we are expanding. You know, we're adding on, we're planting on average around 5.5 hectares of Chardonnay that will contribute in 2 or 3 years to our Chardonnay. And here we go through the small town of Prince Alfred Hamlet. That's really a small town that's sort of mainly existing of fruit growers and packing sheds. And now we're going straight ahead through the small village, up the Kouebokkeveld Pass and then into the Witzenberg.
Welcome to Ceres. We're at the farm Alhambra, where our Pinot Noir grapes come from. We're 1,000 meters above sea level. We have this nice continental climate, meaning you get this cool breeze during the day, and at night also cool temperatures and warmer day temperatures. And yeah, we had the block, we have 2.5 hectare block of Pinot Noir Alhambra, and these vineyards are 12 years old. Yeah, let's walk a bit through the vineyards. As you guys can see, we are a bit behind on the Pinot Noir, but this is what the continental climate is, and it's a beautiful vineyard. We're excited about this. This forms a part of our Pinot Noir. It's quite beautiful, and the vines are still far behind. So here in a few months, in December, January, it will start getting bigger berries, and will start ripening slower than the other warmer climates, because of this cool continental climate. But I want to show you guys something interesting. We're planting some Chardonnay, 3 hectares of Chardonnay, also in Alhambra, and this is still young vines. Let's go look at it. This is the new Chardonnay block, also in Alhambra, and it's just a few steps away from our Pinot Noir. But if you look at this, we're very excited this year, and this is still going to grow and get bigger, and after 3 years we will harvest these grapes for the first time. And this is going to be quite exciting, and not a new project, but it's quite a nice addition to our other Chardonnay. And this is more or less the same that we get from the other blocks, also high altitude, also the continental climate. Yeah, it's just a young vine, and we're looking forward to the grapes that comes from Alhambra. Charles, tell us, where are we going to next?
Yeah, we're going back to the main road and up the mountain, even further higher up on altitude.
Wat type musiek is die?
Ja, julle verstaan nie musiek nie, man. So we're waiting for somebody to open the gate, the farm manager, and he will be here any second. And right here on the left hand side, and guys, look at the mountains at the back, also part of the Matroosberg. And this is our very well-known Chardonnay vineyard that do so well for us, Clo 95. It's been bearing fruit from 2012, so it's now the best part of 10 years old. And on the right hand side is a grafted vineyard that used to be Pinot Noir, that we also graft to Chardonnay, and there in the distance is our Pinot Noir vineyard.
So Charles, I started 4 years ago at the Grendel, and I know a lot of people are always wondering why Ceres and how did everything start on Ceres?
Yeah, it's actually fascinating. I joined 15 years ago, and then the vineyard was already planted, so it was not on my recommendation. And Peter, I think, is an entrepreneur, and he looked at different options, and one of them was sort of on the side soils to plant a bit of Chardonnay and Pinot Noir, and wow, what a story. You know, yeah. we are making excellent wines from here, not due to how good we are, but more about the soil and the climate. And there you have a piece of soil in your hand, and this is now a classic example of what we call Kouebokkeveld scali, you know, the yellow, which is soft, sort of in a way you can literally break it. And of course the wonderful thing about this, it have great water holding capacity. So this is the Chardonnay, and we're going to walk now across, and there's literally a road separating them, and then we walk into the Pinot Noir. Yeah, so I joined in 2005. And in 2008 this vineyard started bearing, and by 2012 we received the appellation Ceres Plateau, and this of course is what these wines are called.
Yeah, so we came from Ceres and then this is now the Ceres Plateau.
Yeah, it's the Bokkeveld. This one is specifically the what they call the Kouebokkeveld, cold area. The bottom half there near the town is called the Kouebokkeveld, a warmer part of the valley. And here we are again on 970 meters with a well-established vineyard. And we're walking across the road here. Here you can see also the yellowish soil. And we're walking into the Pinot Noir vineyard. And maybe you can get a close-up here. You can already see it's fascinating, a cluster. Look at this now. There's a minute cluster. And this in about a month and a half will start flowering. And as you know, wind cross-pollinate a vine. And can you believe it? This will be a cluster that will weigh in February, March, April next year will weigh 150 grams.
So this is a sample that I have in my hand. We talked about what makes this valley special. So I just want to give you guys an idea of the soil we have here. So this is the yellow shale soils, that we get from our Dennekruin vineyards.
I can see clearly now the rain is gone. I hope the Grendel will pay me for another vehicle, because we're going now with this Toyota RAV. It looks like a huge obstacle course here, driving up to the vineyard at Rietfontein, the Shiraz, and I just hope we make it. I must now just think what is the best road. I think it's in here, but you can see it's quite sort of rugged and rough, with not just a dust road but a serious road full of bumps. So this is for me quite exciting. Morgan, we are at Rietfontein, belonging to Robert Graaf, and sort of in front of us is a newly planted Chardonnay vineyard that will eventually, after 3 or 4 years, the fruit will end up at the Grendel. You can see the vines the young vines haven't started budding yet. And then behind us here is 3.5 hectares, or 3.3 hectares to be exact, of Shiraz. And this is what we planted in 2016, and this is the vineyard that did extremely well for us in the last 3 years. First year Plateau 5-star, and then 2 vintages listed in Sweden, and both of them 2020 and 21 Veritas double gold. So yeah, it's amazing. If you look at the surroundings here, it's just one huge valley with orchards, and probably one of the big sort of areas where fruit, apples and pears and nectarines originate from. But this is quite special to be here.
So we're at the farm Rietfontein here, between the Shiraz vineyards, and as you guys can see now, Shiraz is a very vigorous vine, and this is now more or less 30 centimeters, where the Pinot Noir is a bit smaller, 7 centimeters in growth. And yeah, behind me is a big yellow shale rock that you can see that's in the soils here on the Ceres Plateau. And yeah, Charles, this is one of the vineyards that you said is going to do well in 2021.
Yeah.
And it actually did well.
Yeah, but you know, it's always a chance. It was in a bit of a risk in 2016 when we as a team decide on Shiraz, and we are so happy and satisfied that it works. So this is quite a special vineyard, although it's still young. Also, I think it's through its growing pains, but the fruit from here is very special with very unique aromatic components.
Yeah, no, I think we will be off to now. We visited all the farms and the vines, and everything looks good. Yeah, we'll be off back to the Grendel.
Yeah, I'm just concerned about my car. Will it ever recover from this bad road?
Yeah, I'm also surprised about the car.